Thanks for listening to our podcast, unMetered. As a member-owned, not-for-profit electric cooperative, our focus is on providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member service. One way that we're doing that is by providing more avenues of communication to you, our member. Through the podcast, we hope that you will be able to find some helpful hints, tips, and things to help you conserve energy, as well as some informational pieces that will help you understand what it means to be a member. Welcome to another episode of unMetered. Extremely excited to have everyone tuning in this week. This week actually is wrapping up our Cooperative Month interview series that we've been doing. We've had a lot of fun. There's been phenomenal interviews.
Man, I have learned so much. And today is, I've learned a lot. I mean, truly. And I work here, of course. I have learned a lot about what people do that they're parts of the machine that keep this thing going. It's awesome.
Well, and I mean, and there's so many different areas that are involved. Obviously, we're in communications.
Right.
You know, we make the joke that we don't do
Right.
we don't do as much as the others, but when it comes to some of the member interaction type stuff there. But obviously we're here to handle the communications that are going out.
Exactly.
But the thing is that there is so much going on that if any one role is not at the cooperative, things can get chaotic
Very quickly. And that's one of the things that I have learned throughout this whole thing, throughout this whole month, is just how vital each role is.
Right.
I mean, you always know, everybody plays an integral part. But here, it's like for real. I mean, you see it, it's tangible. If you drop out one of these spots, it's crazy. Things get sideways real quick.
It's a little hectic there real fast. And I guess that's one of those things where as we've grown over the years, as the needs have arisen, those positions have come in to the point where like for instance, my particular position at communications coordinator, we grew to the point where we needed two of us. So that has been the way across the entire cooperative. As the need has arisen, more positions have come into play.
That's right.
That a lot of people don't realize are even there.
Right. Exactly. Or what they do.
Exactly.
But as we jump into this week, let's hit the housekeeping outages. 877-777-9111.
You'll see that on the
check it out
down at the bottom of the screen. Also, sharing change.
Right.
You can go to sharingchange.org. Again, that information is at the bottom. And of course, we all you as you'll hear from our own Diana and Jenny here shortly in our interview this week. That if you have a question about your bill, you have a question about anything regarding your electric service, you can always call us at 877-777-9020, or you can stop by one of the offices.
Which you'll probably want to stop by one of the offices.
Exactly.
It's good.
They're all fantastic. So listen in to our interview with Diana and Jenny, and they're going to explain a little bit about our member support specialists and our kind of the billing process that's going on behind the scenes.
It's going to blow your mind.
We're here with Jenny Taylor and Deanna
Aragus.
Again, 2 weeks in a row, Josh. I'm not good with pronouncing names.
That is why you get to do the intro.
Maybe I should start actually writing it down with like the phonetics. Maybe that's the approach.
I think it is spelled phonetically though.
But anyway, so we're here with Deanna and Jenny. Extremely excited to have them here, as we always are of having guests in our studio. Jenny works works with our billing, kind of in that area. We'll find out some more about that. Deanna's over at our Franklin office working with our member support specialist.
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Well, why don't we start off with Deanna?
Yeah.
And Deanna, tell us. Tell us your exact position title.
I work at the Franklin office, and I am a member support specialist.
Awesome. Now, what is a member support specialist? What does that mean?
We directly speak with our members. They have any issues or concerns, they call in. We take their payments. Any type of questions they might have, we try to answer as best as we can.
So as compared to here at corporate, we have our contact center, and obviously you're out in the local offices. So you guys interact more face to face with a lot of the members as compared to over the phone.
Yes, we do get a lot of walk-in members.
Sure.
We do get a lot of phone calls. We when there's no members in the office, we jump into phones to try to help all the members and get as many calls as we can. But we do see more face to face in the office. We do a little bit more. We can work on the engineering side of things as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes a lot of people more comfortable being able to come in and speak to somebody directly.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, it's hard to get answers over the phone, and people want to see things, put out on their desk. They want to see, okay, why is my bill like this? I want printouts. I want to,
So now you mentioned the bill. We actually have a new bill design. Have you had a lot of folks coming in where you get to sit down and actually kind of talk them through some of those things, and as well as like my MTEMC and things like that? Have you had a lot of folks coming in to actually talk about that
Yes.
stuff? Really?
And the bill is something complicated right now because, people got used to seeing a bill and it was just, didn't have so much information.
Right.
Some members are like, oh, I like the old one. And some members like, oh, this is totally awesome. I get to see how much I'm using daily. Oh, I'm just using as much as a Starbucks cup, like coffee. But what I like is that when, somebody does come in and say, hey, I don't like the new look. I'm not getting it. But I get to sit there and I can explain and say, this is showing temperatures. This is showing usage over, you get to see everything that you didn't have access before.
So you kind of get to have that more one-on-one with a member, that's looking for a little bit more information as compared to, someone who may be calling in and saying, hey, I just need to pay my bill because I'm on the fly. I mean, really, you kind of get to sit down and take a little bit more time and explain the co-op to them.
Definitely. That's what it is. And I think it's very important because, yes, it's great to have somebody over the phone and, mainly, somebody who calls in, it is, I want to stop my service. I want to go my service, changes to the service. But there is people who want a lot more detail.
Mm-hmm.
They want to feel the confidence of talking to somebody in person.
Right.
And they deserve to come into the office and for us to answer any questions they might have.
Well, and also, I mean, the other thing that you guys do also is that you can actually help them in person set up their MTEMC or something like that, which is a huge benefit, and actually kind of leads into our next piece, which is our kind of our billing area with Jenny Taylor. So Jenny, tell us what your title is here.
So my title is Member Accounting Coordinator, and we manage all payments.
Okay.
Electronic, we either balance it, manage, monitor, or actually physically process the payments. So all of our members, we are processing in some form or fashion their payment.
Gotcha. So and now I'd asked you this just a little, before we came on, and the number just, I mean, it astounds me. How many checks, people that are mailing in their checks, how many on average do you do a month?
A month, on average, about 40,000.
And now, how big is your team? Because that, I hear 40,000.
That's a lot of checks. And when you hear so how many team members you got?
We have 3, and then with myself including 4.
So 4 people. 10,000 checks
roughly.
And that's just checks. Now that's not even.
Of course, and a majority. I would say that a majority of our members are probably moving into more of a digital. Using it with the new MTEMC, as we were talking about with Deanna there, with the new system there with MTEMC, the credit cards, the debit cards, bank drafts, those are all under your realm of work there,
it's
right?
Under our jurisdiction, and monitoring, balancing, problem solving, troubleshooting, helping support our local offices as well with the payments. Any questions from the members?
Now obviously the member support specialist. People see them, right? I mean, that's one of those things where we've got several. I mean, Deanna's working in the office and things like that. But you guys are putting in a lot of hours, especially during, obviously a lot of hours now, but during the conversion that we had. I mean, y'all were putting in a lot of man hours to make it to the point that the system is moved over and ready to go. So I mean, your job is not just taking in the money, is it?
No, absolutely. Well, with all of our team members,
Sure.
It's not just our group.
Right.
Everyone worked extremely hard during this conversion, but we have put in a lot of hours, and we have tweaked the system to perfect it, and every day we're working together to try to even make it even better and more efficient. We not only do we take payments, we're posting all incentives. Our department is member revenue, so any type of incentives with our TVA program, we are applying those to the members. So we work with our Energy Right department too. We coordinate with them as well. So our tree replacement programs, we're working with them every Everywhere
So
we're not just taking payments. We're also providing other services to our members.
This is the reason that I love doing these interviews because truly and we work close to each other. I had no idea that you guys do that much. I mean, I figured, okay, payments, you know, and not taking away from the busyness of taking payments, but managing credits. I mean, that's probably a pretty big number of folks that have credits, you know, from tree replacement or the e-score program stuff.
well, I mean, and that's an ever changing type of work. I mean, because every week you can't expect to have the exact same number of credits to work through, and so if there's an influx, y'all are taking care of
There's
that.
about 20,000 a week in incentives that we
Wow.
manage and we post. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Wow.
No, it's a good program, and it's something that we have that our Energy Right department has really pushed for our members because it's a great incentive for our members, and we get the benefit of it because we get to give the incentive to the members.
Now, Deanna, you know, I know it's one of those things where you probably know the work you guys are probably having interactions with them, but again, the amount of checks and work that's going through. Do you realize that many processes are happening in the background of what you do every day?
That is, you know, that's amazing what you do, Jenny, in a department. That's amazing. So many coming in like that. You know, I can only imagine what you guys are doing because when we're on the phones, it's like call after call, payment, you know, payments in the office. But you guys are literally dealing with everything.
That's crazy.
Well, it takes a good team.
Right.
And it's not about just one person. It's a team that works together, and we work well together. We have a good team.
So I have to ask the question to both of you. Jenny, I'll ask you first. If your position, not you, but if your position was not at the co-op, how would that affect what we do?
If our position wasn't at the co-op, well, electricity would be turned off because payments wouldn't be processed, right? Everybody pays for electricity.
Right.
We don't get it free here. So
That is
there's no
a great
discount.
point.
We always get asked, as an employee of Middle Tennessee Electric, do we have discounts?
No.
We pay 100%. So if our position was not here, there would
lights
be
would be off.
yes, complete chaos.
And Deanna, let me ask you the same question. If you weren't here, or your position, not you, because we love you here. If your position wasn't here, how would that affect the membership?
I think it would be very horrible. It would be chaos. I think the reason it's just, you know, member service specialist that's over the phone, that's in the office. People want to speak and talk about their bills. They need to cancel services. They need to transfer services. And none of that could be done without somebody in the middle to do that for them.
So,
well, I mean, it sounds like, you know, like I said, there's the two responses we got out of that is the fact that you know, if any role it seems like is missing from the equation, the lights aren't going to work.
That's right.
You know, the power's not going to be there because I think that a lot of times we get so focused on the people that we can see a lot, which is our linemen and things like that we don't realize that there is a huge crew of people, a huge team of people that are working to make sure that what they do is actually making it the rest of the way to the members, making sure that things are up and running, as you said. So I mean, this entire month, you know, we've spent this entire month. We've been talking with Chip and Tally, and we actually talked with another person who handles finances, but more so from the cooperative side, less so than the members, Justin Fan and Melissa, of course. And last week we had Daphne and Udon, and so, you know, with you two, we've kind of hit the entire, not the entire range, but I mean, we've kind of been able to allow everyone to see the fact that there's more to this than just poles and wires. We've really enjoyed having the two of those here today. You know,
40,000 checks a month.
And here's the thing: is that we think, okay, the probably the stereotype or the stigma is that no one writes checks.
Right.
Obviously, that's not the case.
That is crazy. That is such. I didn't realize, and I know I said it, and I know I keep saying it, but I did not realize that there is that much. And that's just paper checks. That's not even. I mean, and they're monitoring everything. 220,000 members. That's a lot. You know, and they're monitoring all that stuff, and with Deanna just talking to the members, being the face, having that one-on-one interaction. I love what she said at the end. We want to build relationships, and that's true. That's what Chris Jones has said, over and over and over again, is we want to be the trusted energy advisor, and we do that by building relationships. These are the folks that you see every day or you talk to. These are the folks that are taking care of processing your bills. I mean, you add that to everything else everybody else that we've talked to this month.
Well, I mean, again, this entire series has been built around the premise of getting to understand what goes on at the cooperative.
That's right.
Besides the poles and wires.
That's right.
And I think we've been able to do that.
I agree. I mean, poles and wires are crazy important. It keeps the lights on. Keeps the lights on.
We have 12,000 miles of them.
Exactly.
That's a lot of miles.
That's vitally important. But seeing the pieces of the machine that help keep it running, I think it's been a great series. I really do.
I've really enjoyed getting to talk with our fellow teammates that are working on sometimes the other side of the building, sometimes in a different county. But again, there's so many more topics that we can delve into, and we'll definitely be looking into digging in a little bit further because, of course, we didn't have the information about the number of people that come through the office that Diana even speaks to on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So again, there's a lot more information that can come out of that. But again, we've been very excited to have everyone come through here, and we hope that our listeners have heard and our members have learned something as much as we have.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully you've had some laughs. We try to keep it light. We try to have some fun with it, but at the end of the day, we just want you to understand your cooperative. It's yours.
Exactly.
You're a member owner.
So starting back next week, we'll be getting into some other topics. This is kind of wraps up the cooperative month as cooperative month has been all of October. Of course, remember, if you've not signed up for pumpkin carving contest, get on that because it wraps up next week. So you want to have time to get your submission in and get some votes.
That's right. Yeah, check that out. Also, the Who Powers You contest.
Yep.
Check that out on our social page. We've talked about it a little bit on Facebook and Twitter, but check it out. Kind of a cool contest. So just give a little jump over there. It's not much to get somebody entered. So check them out.
Well, again, hope you guys had as much fun as we did.
Yeah.
And we look forward to talking and for y'all to seeing us. I guess we can't see you, but for interacting with you guys next week.
See you then.
unMetered is brought to you by Middle Tennessee Electric.